Get ready. 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Start.
The heat of that day had been such that even the houses seemed to be on fire. If you put out a hand to touch one of the old stones of which the houses were built, you took your hand away quickly, feeling that it had been burned. The air itself could be seen, never still, but moving upwards from the streets and the houses and the distant fields. It was not usual for the little town to be so very warm. For some years past, the summer had been rather cold with poor weather. The people kept to their warm dresses and did not trouble to spend time and money on buying light things which they might put on perhaps once only in a year. Nature, however, has her own little ways of interesting herself and us, and she loves nothing better than to do something that is not expected of her. To give us a very cold day in January and a very warm one in August is easy. There is no interest for Mother Nature in that, and she loves to play with us, giving us a warm December and a cold August. Still, if such did not, that every year, that too would become the expected. So this year she has given the little town where we live the warmest August on record. At first, the people loved it and put up with their heavy winter dress, but after several days, they began to feel a little weak. It is lovely, they said, but of course, we are not used to it. Less and less coverings were placed on the beds at night, and the few stores in the little town soon sold all their summer dresses and wired to the wholesalers for more. The men continued, of course, to put on each day their heavy things, for it is difficult for a man to change his ways. Nearly all the men were employed in the great new works that had been built just outside the town shortly after the war. From the high ground about 2 miles beyond the town, you could see the sea to the south. But the downs were between the town and the sea, and no suggestion of sea air reached the people as they went to and from their labor. The air was heavy, and the people seemed to feel its weight as they walked about. Plants were dying just when they should have been at their best, and the lovely colors were going from the countryside. If you sat at your door in the evening, you could hear little pieces of the talk going on among friends, for all doors and windows were kept open until the last light of day had gone. I shall die if it lasts much longer, says a high young voice, a voice full of health. I shall just die. Die you will not, answers an old and rather weak voice. Die you surely will not, just because of a little heat. heat now when I was your age. And the story of those past days is told only to be followed by another story from some still more aged person going back still further into the past. What is the matter with you? All to be sure. Ask a strong young man. It is a change from being cold anyway. Then from quite nearby comes the sweet young voice of a girl talking to a boy. It would be lovely to see the sea, she is saying. Do you think it would be worth the trouble of walking to the downs and looking out at the sea? It must look so still and peaceful and beautiful. I would walk to the end of the world for you, Penny. Even in this heat, even in this heat, he answered. Two people in the little town found life to their liking.